He literally just dropped something off at someone's door, and boom, out of nowhere, a white cop pulls up on him, starts checking what's in his cart, and my guy, he panics. He turns around and tries to dip, didn't even make it 2 steps. The cop pins him to the car like he just caught a criminal mastermind. Next stop, police station. The cop was so sure he cracked some big case. Turns out, big mistake. 1 second, James was shaking in a corner. Next thing you know, he's chilling with the same cop, eating burgers. Yeah, the same cop had to write an 8,000-word apology and became James's personal Uber driver, driving him around town to deliver stuff. And James, he's just this sweet, slow-speaking black guy who ended up changing the whole vibe of the town without even trying. James was born with a developmental delay. Looks like a grown man, but in his heart, he's like 5. Every day he walks around with a shopping cart, picking up stuff people threw away. Some folks look at him weird. Parents even pull their kids away when he passes. But James, he don't care. He's used to it. And even if he's not smart, he's got something real, passion. Every time he sees the high school football team practicing, he stops. Just stands there watching, eyes locked in. That look caught the coach's eye, and that's when everything started to change. One day, a football rolls off the field. James happens to be walking by. A kid yells, "Hey, toss it back." But James, he smiles, nods, and thinks they're giving it to him. Pops it into his cart and just walks off. The players are mad. They run to the coach to snitch. Coach just laughs, says nothing. But the next day, the team wasn't laughing. They trick James into a storage room, lock him in, start shouting at him, pounding balls against the door. When Coach opens the door, he finds James curled up in the corner, shaking, taped up, scared out of his mind. Coach kneels down, gently talks to him, starts peeling the tape off, little by little. The second James is free, he bolts, falls, scrapes his knee, gets up, runs again. Didn't even look back. Coach turns to the team, face stone cold. "You like playing games so much? Cool, practice time's doubling tomorrow." The next day, James shows up again, same spot, outside the field, holding that same football like it's something sacred. He quietly hands it to the coach. He knows that ball is what got him bullied, but the coach doesn't take it. Instead, he apologizes. For real. He says, "You can stay, train with us," and promises what happened will never happen again. James doesn't say a word, just turns around and walks away. But after a few steps, he stops, turns back, and gives the coach this warm, shy little smile, then waves goodbye. Later that afternoon, after practice, coach doesn't let anyone go home. Nope, he lines the whole team up, makes them run suicides across the field, over and over, from bright daylight all the way into dusk. James watches from the sidelines, quiet, but he gets it. That was payback. The coach's way of saying, not okay. Then came the big game, annual football showdown. Coach has this pre-game ritual. He makes the whole team close their eyes. Picture the roar of the crowd after a win. It works every time, gets their blood pumping, hormones flying. They storm the field like warriors. And Johnny, their star player, goes off. Touchdown after touchdown. Nobody could stop him. They crushed it. And just when the team's celebrating, coach looks up, and there he is, outside the fence. Same spot, same quiet stare, his face blank, but you can feel it. He loves this game so much. After the game, it's all cheers and high fives. Parents patting coach on the back, hyping up the team for the finals. A few days later, during a regular practice, guess who shows up again? Right on cue, James. Coach knows he wants in, but he doesn't want to scare him. So he sends the assistant coach over with a bottle of water. James takes it, drinks it. Big moment. That's all coach needed. He walks over, opens the gate, gives him a little smile. "Hey man," James says nothing, way too nervous. Until someone mentions burgers, and boom, he lights up. Next thing you know, he's in the office, face glued to a little radio on the table. Just keeps saying, "Radio, radio." Coach laughs, can't even get his name out of him, so he just gives him a nickname, Radio. And to make him feel at home, they give him the radio as a gift, along with that burger. That night, after dinner, Coach drives James home himself. James is hugging that little radio like it's treasure. Coach figures, now's a good time, says, "You should come help us out at practice tomorrow." And just like that, you see a spark in James's eyes. But when he gets home, his mom's already waiting, and she's not smiling. She knows what her son's been through. Bullies, manipulators. She's not about to trust some white coach being nice. Coach doesn't argue, doesn't ask questions, just says good night and leaves. Next morning, James shows up, right on time. Coach stands in front of the whole team. Starting today, James is our assistant coach. I don't care what happened before. From now on, nobody messes with him. The players, all stunned. Some are clearly not into it, but coach isn't asking. He's telling, so they nod, reluctantly. James finally steps onto the field. Sure, all he does is pick up balls, but man, he's glowing. Still, not everyone's cool with it. Some players mess with him, knock balls out of his hands, shoulder check him him by accident, even fake a tackle right at him. But James never gets mad, never complains. He just keeps showing up, cleaning up, cheering loud, copying coach's moves like he's learning a dance. And after a while, something changes. The team starts respecting him. The energy, different, more connected. Game day comes, and James is right there on the sidelines, yelling louder than anyone, sometimes even sneaking into the cheer squad. And when the team loses, he's the first one to run out and hug every player. No shame, all heart. Maybe that's why the team starts playing better, like way better. Even the crowd starts cheering for him. Radio, radio. But of course, not everyone's happy. Some parents pull coach aside, sneering, "This is football, not the circus. You really gonna let that slow kid be the team mascot?" Coach doesn't clap back. He says nothing. Instead, he shows up at James's house the next evening. Mom's headed out to work a night shift. Coach gently asks, "What exactly does James have? Did the doctors ever say?" James's mom shakes her head. "No diagnosis. Doctors just said he's slow. His dad passed real early, and I've been working 12-hour shifts just to keep the lights on. I can't always be there for him." Then she looks at Coach. "Guard up. You're a white man, and I don't believe you're doing all this for nothing. He's been used and hurt too many times." Coach? He doesn't argue, just nods, serious. A few days later, game time, away matched. But right before boarding the bus, the principal pulls Coach aside. He's not a student here, and you know he's not like the others. What if something happens on the trip? Is this about helping him or making him your mascot? Coach doesn't say a word, just walks over to James and says quietly, "I'm sorry." James freezes, doesn't say a thing, just watches the team bus drive off without him. It starts raining, hard. James heads back to the empty field, soaked, radio clutched in his hand. He turns on the live broadcast and starts mimicking the game, running, falling, getting back up, over and over. Then, he lines up a kick, swings hard, slips and crashes to the ground. At that same moment, his team loses. James just kneels there, in the rain, crushed. He didn't just love football, he loved them, his team, his coach. To make it up to him, Coach takes him out for a massive dinner. And that next game, James walks the team onto the field. Official lead out, crowds going wild, chanting his name. James is so overwhelmed he almost collapses. And then, in pure radio fashion, he accidentally shouts out the game plan. Yup, right there, out loud. The other team's coach, laughing his ass off. "Thanks for the preview." Game starts, and we get wrecked, dragged. By halftime, the scoreboard looks like a crime scene. Johnny, our star player, puck snaps, "I didn't even touch the ball." James hears that, grabs a ball, and hands it to him. Just like that. And something about that moment clicks for Coach. New strategy, born right there. Second half, we come out blazing. Johnny goes nuclear. Whole team's lit. They tie it, then pass, win the whole thing. All because radio handed someone a football. After the game, Coach hands the championship ball to James with both hands, like it's sacred. "Thank you, radio. This win, you earned it too." The whole team's cheering for him. Everyone's smiling. Well, everyone except Johnny's dad. He's in the back, arms crossed, face cold. In his head, if that slow kid wasn't around, Coach would have had more time for the team. We could have gone further. Coach hears it, but he doesn't bite. Instead, a line comes back to him. Something James's mom once said. "It's not that this world lacks kindness. It's just most people don't know how to accept it." That night, James is on the front page of the local paper. His mom holds it in her hands, eyes shining. Who would have thought that her son, the boy everyone once ignored, was now someone the whole town cheered for? But while his mom beamed with pride, James wasn't smiling because the season was over, the game's done, and deep down, he was afraid of going back to those quiet, lonely streets, pushing a cart no one cared to look at. Coach saw it. To him, James wasn't just some helper. He was family now. So he went to the principal, said, "Let's bring him into school, make it official. I'll take full responsibility." At first, the principal hesitated, but eventually nodded. And just like that, James was in. He started learning to read, to write. Coach would teach him himself between practices. Sometimes James even helped monitor tests. The kids didn't mind. He was part of the school now. James glowed. Every day, he'd wave at students in the hallways like he ran the place. Everything felt right until it didn't. Then came the pushback. School board members started raising concerns. Why is someone with a mental disability in classrooms? This is a school, not a charity. What if he hurts someone? Who's responsible? The principal? Stuck in the middle. He couldn't understand why Coach cared this much about someone who wasn't even a student. But Coach didn't fight back, didn't argue. He just stood there, watching James play basketball with the other kids. That laugh, that pure joy, it was real. And James didn't even know that behind the scenes, people were trying to take all this away. Then Christmas rolled around. James's mom had to work a night shift, so Coach pulled everyone he knew, friends, neighbors, even old teammates, to throw James a surprise Christmas party. They showed up, gifts overflowing in the back of a pickup truck. Even Coach's daughter had something for him, a handmade present. She said, "Dad, you were right. People should feel sorry for him." Coach paused, looked at her. "No, sweetie, James doesn't need pity. What he needs is respect." That hit her. Before she could say a word, James burst through the door, radio in hand, spinning and dancing like a little kid, with the biggest, most honest smile in the world. It's Christmas night. Coach drives James home himself and hands him a brand new radio. The moment James hears that familiar voice from the speaker, he's gone. Spinning, dancing, smiling ear to ear, like it's the best day of his life. His mom watches from the side, eyes welling up. "You've given my son a second life," she says. "There are people who do good things, but almost no one keeps doing them like you." She pauses. "Why are you really doing this?" Coach doesn't explain. He just smiles, looks down at the radio like he's remembering something. Kindness isn't something you ration out. You give it when you can. Simple as that. And James, he figured it was time to give something back. So he fills his little cart with gifts and starts handing them out, house by house. But, of course, this is the real world. A cop spots him, black guy, pushing a cart, looks off. Boom, suspicion, pulls him over. Starts asking questions. James panics, just wants to leave, but that gets read as refusing to comply. So the officer slams him to the ground and takes him in. 1 second he's shaking in a holding cell. Next second he's got a burger in one hand and the cop's writing an 8,000-word apology in the other. And yeah, the same cop ends up being James's driver for the day, driving him around town, helping him deliver those gifts in a police cruiser, only in this town. That day, James didn't just win over people. He won the whole town. From then on, he wasn't that weird guy with the cart. He was radio, part of the school, part of the team, part of the heart of this place. Coach kept him in school, made it official. James became assistant coach and low-key hall monitor. See someone breaking rules? He gives you a massive bear hug. Kids can't even stay mad. He's also the school lunch announcer, every day at noon. Today's special is fried chicken and the whole cafeteria cracks up. He's a legend. But of course, not everyone is cheering. Johnny's still bitter. Why does he get all the attention? Why did Coach give him the game ball? That jealousy? It simmers. And one day, Johnny pulls a move. He tells James, "Hey, Ms. Adams wants you in the other classroom. She needs help." James, always eager to help, runs straight there. Problem is, it's the girls' locker room. The moment he opens the door, chaos, screams, panic. James is frozen, then bolts, yelling, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." The next day, Coach finds him. No yelling, no accusations. Just, "James, who told you to go in there?" James stares at the floor, silent. He won't snitch, not even now. Coach sighs. He already knows. He goes straight to Johnny. Before the kid can speak, Coach says, "You're benched. No game tomorrow." Johnny snaps, "For him? You're serious?" Coach doesn't raise his voice. He just says, "James didn't rat you out, but you betrayed yourself." Johnny goes quiet. No words, no excuse. Life was just starting to feel calm again. And boom, another storm rolls in. Just when James was starting to recover from the locker room mess, a call came from the hospital. His mom had passed. Coach didn't wait. He drove straight to James's house. The place was a mess. James had locked himself in a room, sitting on the floor, clutching an old photo, him and his mom, tears running down his face, mumbling over and over, "My mom, she said we played really good. She said I'm a good person." Coach didn't say a word. He just walked over and hugged him, tight, like family. Later that night in the car, Coach finally opened up, told his daughter a story from when he was 12. "I delivered newspapers. One morning, I passed this beat-up house, heard weird noises. I looked through the window, saw a boy, about my age, trapped, like literally caged with wire, eyes empty, but still begging to be paused. I saw him every day for 2 years, and I never did a thing. Then one day, the noise stopped, gone. He looked over, voice low. Biggest regret of my life is that I stayed silent." His daughter didn't say a word, just reached over and held his hand. That's when she understood. This wasn't about pity, it was redemption. But before James could even finish grieving, the school board came knocking, stronger than before. They listed everything. The locker room incident, the tantrums, the instability. And now, no guardian. He's a liability. This is a school, not a care center. Behind the scenes, Johnny's dad, of course. "I'm doing this for the team, for my son. You can't let this slow kid hold us back." Coach didn't argue. He walked straight to James, sat down, placed a notebook in front of him. "Want to learn how to write your name?" James nodded hard, gripping the pen, his hands shaking. He started drawing circles, big, uneven spirals, like radio waves. Coach smiled. "You did it, radio. That's awesome." James was so proud. He tore the page out, put it in a bag with his favorite radio, and gave it to Johnny. "You're sad. I want you to feel better." Johnny held the paper, didn't understand a thing he saw, but it hit him hard. This boy he once bullied just gave him everything he had. Time passed. Johnny got back in the game, but he wasn't the same. He shared the ball, lifted up teammates. That change started with James, because Because James wasn't just a mascot, he was the glue. But Johnny's dad, still bitter. Are we seriously building a team around a slow kid? No wonder we're not at state finals. Tensions rose. Coach walked into the next board meeting, his daughter and friends behind him. I know some of you think James is a joke, a circus act, a distraction, but have you actually watched him? When your kids feel down, he's the first to lift them up. He volunteers to get hit during drills. He never asks for praise. Truth is, James isn't the one learning from us. We've been learning from him. Then Coach said it. If you still want him gone, I quit. Right now. Silence. No one dared speak. The room turned toward Johnny's dad, and even he had nothing left to say. Months passed. Graduation day came. Johnny walked over, handed James a jersey with the team logo. This is for real players, and you earned it. James beamed. He put on a graduation robe and cap for the first time in his life. Not just part of the moment, but the heart of it. The principal stood up and said, James, even though you're graduating, this will always be your home. James walked up, hugged him. Big smile. 30 years later, James is still on the field, but now he's the head coach. The kid with the radio, now leading a whole new generation. And the old coach made it to the Hall of Fame. But more importantly, they're still family. Always were.